Hey guys, today we're on 3.1, adding and subtracting decimals. So you're going to be able to add and subtract whole numbers along with decimals, and then adding and subtracting decimals to decimals. All right, what are our rules for adding decimals? Our first step is to make sure that we are lining up our decimal points when we're adding vertically, so adding up and down, lining up those decimal points. Your second step is kind of the if maybe situation. So if you need to add zeros, if you don't have the same number of decimal places for your problem. Third step, you're going to add right to left, just like you always have. Your fourth and final step is to make sure your decimal in your answer is in the correct spot, to make sure that it's lined up with where your problem started. All right, so let's do a couple of problems. We have 1.34 plus 5. All right, so we're going to line up our decimals. It's 1.34. And remember, 5 is a whole number, so it goes before the decimal. And this is where I'm going to add in my zeros, so I have the same number of decimal places. All right, now let's add. We have 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 plus 0 is 3. Make sure I line up that decimal point. Right, there we go. And then 1 plus 5 is 6. So your answer is 6.34. All right, now I want you to pause the video and try this one on your right on your own. Hit play whenever you're ready to work through the problem. Okay, so for this problem on your right here, your answer should have been 23.598. If it's wrong, kind of retrace your steps, see where you may have misstepped, and if you're right, let's move on. All right, rules for subtracting decimals. Number 1, make sure your larger number is on top. Number 2, line up those decimal points. Your third step is add zeros if you need to have the same number of decimal places. Number 4, subtract right to left. So we start on this side, we move to the left. And then your fifth step is double check that the decimal point is lined up in the right answer and that you've double checked your work. Let's do it. We have 16.7 minus 9.433. So let's line it up. Our larger number is 16.7. Okay, I'm going to subtract, line up those decimal places. So 9.433. Okay, let's add in those zeros. We have the same number of decimal places. And let's start subtracting. We can't take 3 from this 0, okay? But we need to borrow. Let's do brown. So we got to go to our closest whole number, which is this 7 right here. So we're going to cross it out, make that a 6. Make this 0 a 10. We still have to go over to this far 0. So we're going to cross out that 10, make it a 9, and bring it over here. So we have 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. That decimal point down. We can't do 6 minus 9, so we're going to borrow from the 1, make that a 0. Now it's a 16. 16 minus 9 is going to be 5. So your answer is 5.267. Okay, I want you to do this first one on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do this bad boy. Okay, so 3 minus 1.5 is going to be 1.5. Notice how I added this 0 right here to hold my place value since I didn't have one there before. We're subtracting at 1.5. All right, let's do this bad boy. 42.56 minus 6.7893. First step is to add in those zeros so all of our place values line up. Let's start this bad boy. Okay, so we're going to take away from the 6, make it a 5. Make this a 10. We still have to come over to this 0 right here. So we're going to borrow again, make that 10 a 9, and make that 0 into a 10. So we have 10 minus 3, which is 7. 9 minus 9, which is 0. 5 minus 8 we cannot do, so we're going to have to borrow. Cross that 5 out, make it a 4. Bring a 1 over, so it makes that 15. So 15 minus 8 is going to be 7. 4 minus 7 we can't do, so we're going to have to borrow again. Make that 2 into a 1. So now we have 14 minus 7, which is 7. Bring down that decimal place, the decimal point, I'm sorry. We can't do 1 minus 6, so we're going to have to borrow from the 4. Make that 4 into a 3. Bring a 1 over, so we have 11 minus 6. It's going to be 5. Okay? 3 minus 0 is going to be 3. So your answer is going to be 35.7707. I bet you're feeling pretty confident right now. I bet you are. All right, so these are going to be your last 2, actually about 3 more problems. So you have these 2 and 1 more on the next page. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video and do these 2 on your own. Hit play when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so for our first problem over here, 29.6 plus 14.79 is going to be 44.39. And then for a problem over here for our subtraction problem, 50 minus 3.98, we're going to get 46.02. Again, if you're not getting these answers, please recheck your work. Maybe we're not borrowing correctly or not subtracting or adding correctly, but let's figure out what piece that we're missing, okay? All right, our next and final question is, who created this video? Put your answer in your notebook, and I'll see you in class. Bye, guys.